Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's episode. I recently moved into this workshop, and I thought because of that I'll quickly show you how I keep my materials tidy. Mostly the thin, long bits of wood, which is very often a problem in wood shops because it creates a mess very quickly. So because I started out in my front room, space has always been at a premium. So these two cabinets have been with me for a few years. I keep most of my hand machine tools in this one and my consumables in that one. So that always had to be tidy just because I never had a lot of space. And then for my sheet materials, I keep them flat on the floor just because that prevents any warping. It's the best way to look after those. And then my smaller bits, I keep flat against the wall. And in this trolley, there's a video in the description on how I made this trolley from a single sheet of ply, which you can download plans for. And as you can see, it's just packed from big to small so that you can kind of page through it if you're looking for something. But let's get on to how I keep these thin bits organized and ideas for how you could do it too.
On the day I moved in, I simply dropped a load of this material that didn't have a designated place yet in this Mary Kondo style pile on the ground. And I can assure you that this sparked very little joy.
You are a thief of joy.
For this reason, I was very happy to have these open-ended gaps between the ceiling joists. They were the perfect storage for this type of wood. But what I didn't want to happen, which easily could, was for these gaps to just become a dumping ground for scrap. I needed a system.
I don't think the system works.
How would you have it work?
Firstly, I measured each of the gaps just to see if my plan would work. Secondly, after moving the largest pieces to their places, I measured a few ranges of lengths from the floor and temporarily marked these against the wall with a piece of masking tape. And then thirdly, I arranged all the longer thin strips into these ranges so I could get an idea of the volumes I was working with. Looking at each bundle of wood, I was happy that there was enough space for it, so proceeded to label each gap with a range of length I planned to store in there. The ranges start at 900 mm and increment 300 mm until it gets to 2.4 meters, which is the length of most standard boards. Construction-wise, there wasn't a lot of work required. I used scraps of MDF and plywood to make these open-sided semi-boxes. Their function being to prevent pieces from being pushed past a certain depth in each of these gaps and just cause clutter. Here you can see me fitting the depth stops in each of their respective gaps between the joists. And since I am renting, I don't want to do anything too permanent, so I'm simply tacking these in place with small brad nails that can easily be removed in minutes when the day comes to move on. Now this is a video, so for a bit of extra flex I decided to make this range ruler using my CNC and mount it permanently against the wall. You can of course do the exact same thing with a ruler and a Sharpie, right? This makes it very easy and quick for me to see where a piece should go, and doing that just makes it a bit quicker and a bit more likely to keep things tidy. And that's really it, I suppose. You might not have the exact same setup with ready-made gaps like these in your roof, but the principle is easily replicated. If you have a high enough ceiling, you can suspend large diameter pipes or cardboard tubes at similar ranges and use that for storage. Or if you have to use your floor space, you can use bins and keep bins at similar lengths together.
Well, that's it for today, folks. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to subscribe and send it around to any of your friends that might find it useful. Until next time, goodbye.